Hi everyone, this is Sandy Create the Heart, and today I am back with another project for my 12 Days of Christmas. So I moved on to Concord and Ninth. I actually got this from the Holly Jolly workshop, virtual workshop, and I actually didn't even go, so I have no idea how any of the things that I got from that workshop work, because I actually was very sick. So that was a couple years ago. And I'm all better now, but I have no idea how to use any of these things. So I'm sure I could figure it out, but because it was a workshop, there is not a lot online to figure it out, so a problem. Anyway, this stamp set took me a hot minute to figure out, but this one was very doable. So this is basically a wreath, kind of like a wreath, and it is. Well, they do a lot of these in Concord and Ninth where things sort of fit in places. You know, they have their ones that you can stamp, 4 times and get your own background, but they also have these ones that sort of fit, where multiple stamps, you can stamp them and they all just seem to fit. So this is one of those, excuse me. So I am actually using my Misty. I'm using Concord and Ninth inks. This one is Evergreen. And this is a very, very pretty very dark green, and I really like it a lot. So I'm using this color, and I'm trying to be careful so I don't, this one ink pad happens to be quite wet, and so I didn't want to kind of have too much to clean, even though there will be stuff to clean. And so we're going to stamp 3 different stamps in 3 different colors to get a very new and fun image. So I'm pressing everything down really well because I don't want to have to re-ink it. And that is kind of nice with their ink pads because, except for the one I'm going to be using today, they're mostly pretty wet. And I am going to take a paper towel and kind of wipe off some of this sort of excess ink so I don't get it everywhere when I take it off of my Misty. And then I'm going to kind of keep my Misty door closed and kind of figure out where these are supposed to go so I know which direction before I lay it down, because it takes a second to figure out exactly where it goes. So the holly berries go underneath the holly leaves, and then the poinsettia flowers kind of fit in those empty places, but there's going to be 3 other, we have the other stamp set too that's also going to fit. So I kind of think I've got it, and so once you think you've got it, then you can put it in there and do a little bit of finagling, because I don't want it obviously to cover up my leaves, and I want it to fit in front of those holly leaves. And so when I think it's where I want it to be, which I think I'm really close to figuring that out, I just don't want to cover everything, so it's just kind of a pain. But once I've got it figured out, then I go ahead and I put it on my Misty. And I have a grit mat in my Misty, which has been well loved, well used. I do clean it every so often so that it retains its sticky. Right now it's pretty sticky, so sometimes it's not sticky at all. So there we go. Now I'm using this cranberry ink. This is the one that's not quite so wet. I feel like I might need to refill it, which I don't have refills for this, so next time, a list for next time. I go online shopping, so I'm going to press everything down really well, and you can see it's not quite as crisp as it could be, but I'm not going to re-ink it. Same thing, I'm going to wipe down all the sort of residual ink on there because I just don't want to get it everywhere, because it will get everywhere, the red will get everywhere. So now I'm on to my last one. And so this one I am going to be doing, I think I'm doing a pink. Honeysuckle is the one I'm going to be using for this. And so again, before I put it in my Misty, I figure out kind of a direction that it needs to go. And once I think I've figured it out, Then I'll put it in my MISTI and kind of move it into place where I think it needs to go, so it's not hitting any of the, you know, really important parts of the image. And once I think I've got it, because so that is the thing about these stamps, is you kind of have to a little finagle. Even though I think it looks really, really pretty like this. You could just not do the third one if you don't want to. You don't have to, so that's okay. I'm gonna do the third one, and it is in that honeysuckle, so I get this pop of pink in there. And before I forget, make sure that you send me an email, scoop71@yahoo.com, if you would like a Christmas card sent to you. Just send me an email with your name and your address, and I will pop a holiday card in the mail to you. I keep forgetting to do it at the beginning of my video, so hopefully people are, I think I'll put it in the description. So now I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and stamp my sentiment. This is like a one layer, pretty much a one layer card. I am going to mat it, but you don't necessarily have to. So you could stamp this in a color. I think it'd be really pretty in a color, but I actually am going to stamp it in black. So I kind of want that contrast of colors, but you could do it in green or something else. And there you go. So it's just got that very modern look to it, and I think it's really fun. So I'm actually going to step away for just a second to trim down my panel, because I do want to mat it. Now you don't have to. Like, this could go right onto a card front and call it done, because I think it's great the way it is. You could also put some little gems in the middle if you weren't going to be mailing this. I think that the little gems in the middle would be fabulous. But because I'm mailing this, I'm actually going to trim down my card front just a little bit so I can mat it on some green cardstock. And the cardstock's from Concord and Ninth. I have no idea what color it is. I think it might be clover. I'm thinking, but it's not evergreen. I know that much. So yeah, so I kind of stepped away for just a second. I trimmed it and placed it on my green cardstock, and then I need to place it on a card base. And I just decided that I have these little holly berry dot things. So I'm actually, since I'm not going to be putting a gem in the middle of these flowers, I think you can do an enamel dot, but I'm afraid that it won't be machinable. It'll end up being non-machinable if I do that. That I am going to just stamp those little holly berries in the middle of my flowers, just to kind of finish them off a little bit so they don't look quite so naked in the middle. And I'm going to do that for both cards, and I'll get a card base for that one. And I think that that kind of finishes the card without it looking so naked, without something in the middle of those. I feel like something needed to be there. And so this is the way you kind of do a flat card. Thank you, Concord and Knife, for an awesome product. So thank you so much for watching. This is Sandy Crank the Heart. Oh, before I forget, make sure to email me at scoop71@yahoo.com with your name and address if you would like a card mailed to you.